Hi, everybody. It's Brigitte, your resident human design coach. I'm glad you're here today because we are going to hear from Stephen Horn. Stephen is a 6'2" emotional projector, and he was a past student of mine, past client, and now he's my friend. And I don't always get to hear how my past clients are doing, but today you and I get to hear from Stephen, and we get to witness his growth in knowledge and insight into himself. I personally had the privilege of helping him ground in his human design so he could take off with it. He learned the basics and he was able to observe himself in relationships, and now he's coming back to report on it. So today, let's witness the results of the work that Stephen has done. I'm so proud of him. Here's Stephen.
I first found human design in 2020. At the time, I was searching for something, not even sure what, just a way to make sense of why life always felt like I was giving more than I had. When I learned I was a projector, I remember thinking, okay, that explains a lot, but even then, I didn't really understand what that meant. I heard people say projectors should study others before trying to understand themselves, but I brushed that off at first. I thought, no, I just need to figure me out. It wasn't until about a year later that it actually clicked. I started pulling charts for my family, my ex, my close friends, and suddenly I could see how energy actually worked. I noticed how I was stepping into to fix things that weren't mine to fix, thinking I was helping when really I was just wearing myself out. That was the first big shift for me, realizing that as a projector, I learn who I am through the people around me. Their patterns become mirrors for my own. And then, after a long-term relationship ended, that mirror got even clearer. I was trying to rebuild my life to feel stable, safe, and in control. I told myself I needed a fresh start, so I rented a penthouse I didn't need, bought a luxury car I couldn't afford, all to prove to myself that I was okay. Looking back, that was my survival perspective in full swing. It helps me see what's essential, what's needed, but when I'm out of alignment, it flips into desire. Suddenly, need turns into want, and my innocence motivation, that part of me meant to move through life with curiosity and trust, it gets hijacked, and I go from calm and open to gripping tight, trying to control everything. That pattern was painful to see at first, but it also became my teacher. It showed me that every time I move from fear or scarcity, I lose touch with who I am. And every time I slow down, let go, and trust the timing, peace and success find me again. That's what I mean when I say my wound became my medicine, because that same sensitivity and survival instincts that once drained me, the same parts of me that used to feel too much or too intense, are exactly what allow me to see others clearly now. Human design didn't fix me, it helped me recognize myself. Beyond the roles, beyond the masks, beyond the expectations, and beyond the survival patterns. Now, when I catch myself pushing or overgiving, I stop and ask, is this a real need? Was I invited? Or is this fear trying to feel safe? These questions help me align every time. I don't move fast anymore. I move at my own pace, my rhythm, and that's where I find peace. Not in becoming someone new, but in finally coming home to who I already am.
All right, that was fantastic, wasn't it? So grateful to have been an audience to that story. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comments section. Let's hear from you. And if you'd like to get in touch with our storyteller today, please check out the description area for contact information. Once again, I'm Brigitte Knight, and I help people use human design in everyday problems, especially relationship challenges. I love working with couples and teams to use human design to get along. So reach out at my website, brigittenight.com. Until next time, have a fabulous day.